Welcome to Teleislas News with the most relevant and important information of the day. Authorities are monitoring the tropical depression in the Caribbean Sea, which has a good chance of becoming a hurricane in the next few hours.
The Departmental Risk Management Council is activated to monitor the tropical depression that would be affecting the department. According to IDIAM's Special Communique number 060, conditions are favorable for Tropical Cyclone 2 to evolve as a tropical storm today, being located to the east of the continental Caribbean Sea and continue its transit towards the northeastern part of Colombia.
El Consejo Departamental de Gestión de Riesgos se reunió el día de ayer.
The Departmental Risk Council met yesterday, headed by Governor Everett Harkins Green, and the IDIAM's Yolanda Gonzalez was at the meeting. She was giving us the current reports of weather conditions. Today in the IDIAM's Communication 060, we see that the tropical wave that we have been monitoring for days has already become a tropical depression. It continues with this trajectory, and with that speed, possibly in the next few hours, we will have a tropical storm.
The Risk Management Coordinator provides recommendations to the community to take precautions against the possible effects of this natural phenomenon.
Hemos venido adelantando ciertas acciones.
We have been taking action as this storm is formed. We have activated the security protocols at the departmental level in order to monitor it and take measures. Currently, we are being informed that if it follows this constant and this trajectory, it may affect us and become a Category 1.
It is important to take precautionary measures and follow the official information issued by the competent authorities regarding the evolution of this natural phenomenon.
The departmental government has set up several shelters if necessary during passage of the tropical storm.
Joseph Martinez, the coordinator of the Risk Management Unit, announced the shelters that have been set up in case of an emergency in the department.
The Cerebia de Fuerza School, the Vive Digital, the Bolivariano School, the Flowers Hill School, the St. Francis of Assisi Church by Father Marcelino, the Philip Beekman School. That is, if your house or a neighbor's house is not safe.
The whole community should evaluate the structure of their homes and identify possible nearby shelters.
Everyone should evaluate the structural conditions of their house to see if they serve as temporary shelter. If not, it is important to evaluate the possibility of going to a relative's house, and if not, then go to a neighbor's house. In case you do not have any of these three, the option is to go to a shelter that is arranged by the departmental government.
It is important that the community always has an emergency kit with essential elements for any eventuality that may occur in the archipelago. All these measures are a precaution in case of any natural phenomenon that directly or indirectly affects the department.
Liar Jose Manuel Geneco was captured during this weekend. He's the husband of the deceased Maria Mercedes, who died from gunshot wounds in her home on October 5, 2021.
Last hours, the presumed capture of liar Jose Manuel Geneco Valencia was known unofficially while he was spending his holiday weekend in the municipality of Ginebra, Valle del Cauca. Personnel of the Investigation Corps entity CTI, once he was arrested, transferred him to the island of San Andres. Preliminarily, it has been known that a prosecutor delegated by the Territorial Security is the one who is advancing investigations on this case and who will argue before a judge of the archipelago with evidentiary material elements the reason why the liar should be charged if everything is related to the murder of his wife, or, on the contrary, if the arrest was done for other facts.
Teleislas News regret the death of the 26-year-old woman in an event that occurred in the early morning of yesterday, Monday, June 27th, in the Cove Hill sector.
As Angie Castro Mendoza was identified, a young woman who died in the morning of June 27 in a road crash in the Cove sector. According to the police report, the young woman was apparently driving while intoxicated and lost control of her motorcycle. She was taken to the hospital but unfortunately lost her life.
Lamentamos.
We regret as National Police the death in a traffic accident of an inhabitant of the island the night before. We send our condolences to her family and relatives.
Through social networks, her family, friends, and acquaintances remember her cheerful and sociable person. With messages of sorrow, they say goodbye to her. The police institution also informs that 4 other traffic accidents occurred during the weekend. For this reason, they invite the community to be aware and avoid drinking while consuming intoxicating beverage.
Also in the National Police report, 3 captures, 1 apprehension, and the seizure of 2 firearms are highlighted.
In search and seizure procedures carried out in the Simpson Well neighborhood, the police department reports the capture of 3 individuals of 18, 20, and 35 years of age, as well as the apprehension of a 17-year-old adolescent and the seizure of a shotgun-type firearm, a pistol-type firearm with a supplier and ammunition, marijuana-type plant substance, and elements with which the dosage of this substance was possibly carried out. This was achieved during control operations carried out in the Simpson Wells sector. Among other outstanding results after operations during the week are the control actions aimed at counteracting crimes of greater impact, such as homicide and theft in all its forms. In this case, in the sector parallel to the airfield, the police managed the capture of a 29-year-old man from Guajira who was found with a revolver-type firearm and 4 cartridges for the same in the waist of his shorts. Also in the Cocal neighborhood, a 26-year-old man was captured who apparently, moments before, had fired some shots. For this reason, a search was performed on this person and a pistol-type firearm with 6 cartridges were found in his possession. Finally, among the facts and arrests reported by the National Police, an arrest warrant was issued against a 24-year-old man for the crime of sexual intercourse with a minor under 14 years of age. Likewise, in the John Wells sector, a 41-year-old man was captured for the crime of violent sexual access. With these results, the National Police is increasingly managing to reduce in a representative manner situations that put at risk the tranquility of the inhabitants of the archipelago, in addition to removing from circulation a total of 4 firearms with which they could have attempted against the life and physical integrity of residents and tourists in our islands.
In other news, 2 Swiss citizens were rescued by the Colombian Navy watchers of the Archipelago Department.
Members of the Colombian Navy arrived at Cayo Serrana in a missile frigate about 132 nautical miles from San Andres to rescue 2 Swiss senior citizens after the catamaran sailboat Sea Fox, with French registration in which they were being transported from Jamaica to Panama, ran aground in area of coral reefs.
The specific command of San Andres and Providence received the alert of a motor vessel that suffered an emergency on the bank of Serrana. The vessel proceeded to mobilize and found the stranded sailboat. We rescued a couple of Swiss citizens and came to San Andres to disembark the rescued personnel.
The crew members indicated that the marine casualty was due to the difficult conditions in the Caribbean Sea. Due to the difficult condition at the site of the emergency, the crew members of the Colombian Navy disembarked in a shallow draft suicide boat where they arrived at the stranded catamaran. There they verified the state of the health of the 2 castaways, 68 and 67 years of age, who were on board the vessel.
First, we want to say that we are very happy to be alive here in St. Andres, and we want to thank you, the Colombian Armada, and all the team on the boat who rescued us yesterday, where we were in very difficult conditions. You did a great job. You give us a lot of friendship on board, and so we don't know how to thank all of you. Great job and many thanks.
The other hand, officials from Migration Colombia conducted the corresponding administrative procedures for their legal transit through the island of San Andres while they return on the country of origin.
And seeking to generate spaces for conversation, a conflict resolution workshop was held today in our island.
Hello, Lisa and all the TV viewers who they connect right now with us in Teleislas News. I say hello from here from the ICBF, where right now then they make a workshop about citizens' competence. They are going to talk about different themes of resolution of conflict. The conference is Sally, who told us a little more about this workshop.
En el día de hoy, pues hablamos de los mecanismos alternativos de solución de.
Today we talked about alternative mechanisms for conflict resolution. Let's say that conflicts are events that assail us every day, and we are giving mothers who are head of households tools to better manage conflicts. That is, improve assertive communication, how women can be facilitators of peace, since domestic violence and violence in general has been something very recurrent in recent years, and especially in the islands. So the idea is for women, in a way, they can have knowledge at hand so that they can manage their conflicts much better. It is very important. We believe that it is something that should be replicated in society, not only for mothers who are head of households, but also for equity conciliators. And we think that today's scenario was for head of households, but hopefully it can be applied in different instances, as in the neighborhoods, in the community action boards, all this to provide people with the best tools for conflict resolution that arise in everyday life.
This is all the information I report from this point of the island. Continue Lisa in studio with more information.
Thank you, Alice. At this time, we continue with Victor Fusalba and Alice Sport News.
As well as the medals, the island representative of Domino's Big Boys Club of the Central Baptist Church shined in the important event of the Bolivariano Games held in the city of Valledupar. San Andres stood out in the category of couples modality with Donovan O'Neill and Tomas Fernandez, achieving a great position in this category. San Andres thus wrote history in the Bolivariano Games of Valledupar, organized by the International Domino's Federation. These island delegations left their mark with the radiance of their medals obtained in these 19 Bolivariano Games. And this is what Donovan O'Neill told us.
Thanks to God, we had the opportunity to went to the city of Valledupar to participate and represent our island in the Bolivarianos, where we had a good representation. We had the opportunity to come champ in the category of peer with Tomas Fernandez and myself, Donovan O'Neill, where we get the medal gold. And in the category individual with Tomas Fernandez, we get the bronze medal. It was a wonderful experience where the delegation that participated was from the United States, Panama, Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Barbados, and also Colombia. Really, it was a wonderful event. We had the opportunity to integrate with other nations.
And in another scenario, Father's Day was celebrated with football and great joy in the Maracana. The Maracana once again served as a stage for the recreational sports activity, this time to celebrate Father's Day, where many families came to enjoy and distract themselves with soccer. One of these parents who enjoyed this soccer day was Nilson Trejo, who told us.
Más que todo venimos a hacer un poquito más de deporte.
More than anything, we came here for more than sport, more than anything for family integration, partnering and community, because we are from the town of La Pascuala, and that is why the name of the team La Pascuala. As there are teams with names from other regions, we come to have fun and also to compete. We started losing with 2 mistakes. The first one was particularly mine. The second one was collective, a mistake, but we stood up to it and kept fighting. We managed to tie the game and came back 4-2.
Another father who enjoyed with his family was Stefano Steele.
Come here to enjoy this recreation in the Maracana field with some friends and some family, and we come to look on this good game today. My family is a sport family. We enjoy all the games, also basketball, baseball, so we're here doing football. Like how I'm telling you, we look at recreation to the older people and play good football games.
This is what Weena Hudson said.
Well, we enjoy a little bit for sport. We look at like football game with the family here.
What a joy to see families together enjoying recreation and sports on the Maracana's court, said Weena Hudson. And this is all in sports for the moment. I am Victor Fusalba, Teleislas News.
Thank you, Victor. This is all for now. We see you tonight at 8 p.m. with more news at Teleislas News Central Broadcast. Good afternoon.